Welcome to our journey into the past, where we'll explore the life of one of the most revered figures in Christian history, Saint Francis of Assisi. This tale is as much about the transformation of a person as it is about the enduring power of faith, and we are all witness to this epic journey of a spoiled rich kid turned saint. Francis was born in the bustling medieval city of Assisi, Italy in 1181 to a prosperous silk merchant, Pietro di Bernardone, and his beautiful Provençal wife, Pica. He grew up in opulence with every luxury at his disposal. From sumptuous feasts to extravagant garments, the world was at young Francis's fingertips. His father's wealth ensured that he was privy to the finest education, bestowing him with the knowledge and eloquence that would later serve as the foundation for his teachings. But his life of luxury was as much of a source of happiness as it was a cause of inner conflict. Despite having everything a young man could dream of, Francis felt an emptiness within him that the riches could not fill. He sought excitement and adventure, often embarking on wild escapades with his friends. There was a hunger within him, not for materialistic pleasures, but for purpose, for meaning, for something larger than himself. When Francis was 20, he found his adventure, not in his carefree gallivanting, but in the grim reality of war. The clash between Assisi and Perugia immersed him in the brutality and violence of battle. Captured by enemy soldiers, he spent a year in captivity, an experience that would profoundly shake him. The carefree youth, who once relished in the thrill of escapades, was now faced with the harrowing truths of life. It was during his imprisonment that Francis began to question the world he was part of. The stark contrast between his privileged existence and the bleak reality of war and suffering led him to introspect, to question, and to seek. The grandeur that once fascinated him now seemed shallow and hollow. The spoils of wealth and the allure of privilege were no longer captivating to him. After his release, Francis returned to Assisi, but he was not the same man. The experiences of war and imprisonment had left an indelible mark on his spirit, yet the world around him hadn't changed. His father's opulence, the carefree banter of his friends, and the extravagance of the society, it all felt like an alien world. One day, as Francis was praying in the dilapidated church of San Damiano, he heard the crucifix speak to him. "Francis, go and repair my house, which as you see is falling into ruin." Shaken and stirred, he took this as a divine command to rebuild the church. His new mission was met with resistance, especially from his father. When Francis sold a portion of his father's goods to fund the restoration of the church, it sparked a conflict that resulted in a dramatic public confrontation. He renounced his father, his wealth, and his inheritance, choosing to embrace a life of poverty. From the son of a wealthy silk merchant to a humble servant of God, Francis's transformation was astonishing. He wore a simple brown robe, tied with a cord, and walked barefoot, owning nothing but his unwavering faith. His devotion and humility began to draw people towards him. They saw in Francis a man who embodied the teachings of Christ in his every action. He lived in harmony with nature, treating every creature with kindness and respect. It is said that he could communicate with animals, and his love for them is beautifully captured in stories such as the taming of the fierce wolf of Gubbio. Francis went on to establish the Franciscan order, which promoted his ideals of simplicity, poverty, and love for all God's creation. His humility in connection with the poor, his love for the natural world, and his commitment to peace had a profound impact on people around him and continue to inspire millions today. Francis's health began to decline due to the austere life he lived. His years of hardship and penance took a toll on his body, and he died on October 3, 1226. 2 years later, he was canonized as a saint by Pope Gregory IX, But even in death, his spirit continues to live on in the hearts of those who find solace in his teachings. Saint Francis of Assisi, the spoiled rich kid who became a saint, is a testament to the transformative power of faith. His life reminds us that true riches do not lie in material possessions, but in the love, kindness, and humility we extend towards others. His story serves as an inspiration, encouraging us to introspect, to question, and to seek a deeper purpose in life. As we conclude this journey, let us take a moment to reflect on the profound transformation of Saint Francis of Assisi. It's not a tale confined to history books or religious texts, but a living testament to the power of change. In his journey, we see the strength of human spirit, the courage to question, and the resilience to transform. We witness the transition from privilege to poverty, from ignorance to enlightenment, from indulgence to selflessness. Saint Francis of Assisi's story is one that will continue to inspire, encourage, and provoke thought in our hearts, reminding us of the divine potential within each one of us. A man who was once lost in the materialistic world found his purpose in service and love for all creation. If we embrace his teachings, perhaps we too can find our own path towards a more fulfilling and meaningful life.